This episode of Crazy Science with Aashish is proudly sponsored to you by Disney. Before this video starts, I would like to say a huge thank you to Disney for sponsoring this video. They sent me with 2 of these encyclopedias. I'll show you another encyclopedia in another video. Until that, thank you to Disney. So today we'll be looking at 50 amazing facts about the history of the world. I will be reading that encyclopedia for you guys. Turn on the closed captions for the quotes alone, the facts alone. I'm not gonna put everything. So let's start. Before I start this video again, be sure to follow me on Instagram so that I can notify you in advance whenever I'm about to upload a video. This is my username. Let's get started. Hi, I'm Aashish, aka MiniBlockade in the YouTube world. Today we are going to learn about something which is very special. Did you know that when Galileo first discovered Saturn, his telescope was not strong enough to see the rings clearly? He thought that the bulges on the sides of the planet were moons, and he wrote on his record that Saturn has ears. Ha ha ha! Funny, right? That's an amazing fact. Disney sent me these encyclopedias. As I said before, thank you to Disney for sponsoring this video. They sent me with 2 of these, and now these encyclopedias are awesome. And now we'll be talking about something which is pretty cool. Let me show you the camera. Okay. And let me start off with the history of the world. A fact says Shakespeare knew at least 29,000 different words, about 6 times as many as most people who speak English now. As I said, turn on the captions for these quotes alone. You will not be getting the captions, but if you want those quotes, turn on the captions. English, okay? Amazing facts. I'm gonna read 50 amazing facts. Let's see. The second one, or the third one, which is the first one actually I said before. Nearly 3/4 of the Earth's surface is covered by water. Let's go on to the fourth one. Fourth one, the Russian Federation is 39 million times larger than the Vatican City, a tiny country within Europe. If you don't know what Vatican City is, it is the smallest country in the world. Here it is, Vatican City. Shout out to you, boy. China. Ooh. Amazing facts. There are only 2 countries with more than 1 billion people as a population. China and India, with China being the leading thing. So next up, to Japan. Tokyo is the world's biggest city. It joins the city of Yokohama, and together they have 33 million people, more than Australia and New Zealand combined. Ooh, how much is this? This is the 6th fact. I'm about to say the 7th fact. The Tonle Sap River in Cambodia flows in 2 directions. For most of the year, it flows south, but during floods in October, it flows north. That's awesome. Next up, maritime Southeast Asia. Well, the volcano Krakatoa erupted in 1883. The noise was heard in Brisbane, Australia, 5,230 kilometers, more than 3,250 miles away. Oh, that's awesome, really? Going to the 9th fact. India, my country, as well as 2 official languages, English and Hindi. India has 14 major languages and over 1,500 other languages. India is great. On to the 10th fact. The Karakum Canal in Turkmenistan. I think it's Turkmenistan. No, Turkmenistan is 1,400 kilometers. or 868 miles long. The canal has turned in a desert land into an important cotton growing region. Ooh. Definitely life-saving. The 11th one, let me mark those because I won't lose count of them. 11th one. The Dead Sea is the lowest place on Earth's surface. It is also the world's saltiest sea. Ooh, definitely saltiest. Let me know in the comments below what is the chemical formula of table salt. Okay? And I will leave a heart on the comment who sees correct answers, and also subscribe back to them if they have separate channels. Do not Google them. Sorry. So the 12th fact is, at 1,620 meters, or should say 5,315 feet, Lake Baikal is the world's deepest lake and contains 1/5 of the world's fresh water. On to the next fact. This is located in Russia, if you don't know. The 14th one is, Hungarians grow more than 2/5 of the world's paprika, a sweet red pepper used in cooking in the southern town of Kalocsa, even has a paprika museum. Man, they are fans of paprika everywhere in Hungary. So, on to the next fact. In 218 BC, the African general Hannibal led an army from Spain to attack Rome in Italy. Some of his troops crossed the Pyrenees and the Alps mounted on elephants. I don't actually understand that. And I understand that they were on elephants. On to the next fact. The coastline of Norway has so many shards. What are those? Shards. That if it was straightened, it would reach halfway around the world. Ooh. If you don't know, shards are deep inlets on the Norwegian coast carved out by glaciers long ago. That's cool. On to the next fact. Cave paintings in southern Algeria, made 8,000 years ago, show that the Sahara was once covered in grassland. Ooh, that would be awesome! The largest grassland in the world. This is a long video, man. This is gonna be a long video. 17. After the rainy season, Victoria Falls sends down enough water every minute to fill 265 Olympic-sized swimming pools. I think Victoria Falls is the largest. No, the Angel Falls, right? That is awesome. 265 Olympic-sized swimming pools. On to the next fact. The Itiapu Dam is the second largest producer of electricity in the world. If you don't know how much electricity it produces, 14,000 megawatts. So, Lake Titicaca, located 3,810 meters, or I should say 12,500 feet up in the Andes between Bolivia and Peru, is the highest lake in the world on which boats are found.
3 days later.
So there was a kind of a malfunction. So let's go on to the 20th fact, which is Mexico City was built in the site of an ancient lake. Although the lake has disappeared, some of the older buildings that were made using heavy materials have sunk into the soft soil below. Now, many entrances are below street level. So, going on to this 21st, the USA. Before bison were hunted in large numbers, there were 70 million of them in the US. Herds could take 5 days to pass by. Today, there are only about 50,000 left. A drastic change from 70 million to 50,000. I feel sorry for you, bison. I feel sorry for you Americans too. Going on to Canada. The 22nd fact. The 8,900 kilometer, or should I say 5,530 mile boundary between Canada and the US is the longest undefended border in the world. You know, India, Pakistan, India, China, India, Nepal, India, Bhutan, India, Bangladesh, India, I said it already, India, Tibet, etc., etc., are all defended borders, but this is the longest undefended border. Not the longest border, longest undefended border. Going on to the 23rd fact. They have some good facts. Check them out. They're about 450 rupees. I'll put the link in the description for the price in various currencies. Australia. Australia is the second driest continent in the world's flattest. They have many plateaus, deserts, etc., etc., which to make them extremely flat. So going on to the 24th fact. Let me mark it. At 3,754 meters, or should I say 12,316 feet, Mount Cook on South Island, New Zealand, is the highest mountain in New Zealand. In 1992, a rock fall reduced its height by 6 meters, or should I say 20 feet. Approximate. That was a drastic thing. Let's go on the polar regions, the Antarctica and the Arctic Ocean. In the winter, the 25th fact, halfway around, in the winter, the seas around Antarctica freeze. The frozen sea doubles the size of Antarctica. That's pretty cool. In summer, I think they melt. Ooh, that's it for the geography. Let's go on to the children of the world. Going on to the 26th fact, the number of countries changes all the time as some countries join together or rather split up into separate countries. Always there's a change in the number of countries. So you say like that. So, going on to this 27th, approximately 16 million babies are born in China every year. China. 28th fact, more children live in China than in any other country in the world. Let's just have it as a bonus fact. The real 28th fact is here. The Japanese eat more Japan, the children of the world in Japan. The Japanese eat more seaweed per person than anyone else in the world. They wrap it around rice or sprinkle it over noodles. Definitely a weird way to eat them. Going on to the 30th fact. No, 29th fact. A young Buddhist monk is allowed only one meal a day, and it must be eaten before noon. What was that? Nothing. So, a bonus fact again. The Thai name for Bangkok is Krung Thep, which means City of Angels. So, going on to the 30th fact, you have Indonesia is made up of nearly 14,000 islands. Indonesia. 14,000 islands. Shout out to Indonesia. Comment down in the comments below. I subscribed. Hashtag 14,000 Indonesia. Indonesia 14,000. Yep. So, 31st fact. Brunei is one of the smallest countries in the world, but not the smallest. But its ruler, the Sultan, is one of the world's richest men because his country has lots of oil. That's why Qatar is the richest country in the world. Bonus fact. 32. In some Indian villages, there are nearly as many cows as people. This is because most Indian people are Hindus and they believe that cows are holy, so they do not eat them. Yeah, I know that. Oh. So, 33rd fact. 3 of the world's great religions started in Central and Southwest Asia. Judaism, Islam and Christianity. Southwest Asia. Central and Southwest Asia. No. Okay, so here's a bonus fact. Many village children live in areas that are far from the nearest doctor's surgery or hospital. In many countries, traveling doctors visit villagers to treat sick people and give injections to keep children healthy. So, going on to the 34th fact. Russia is so big that it takes 8 days to cross it by train from Moscow to Vladivostok. So Moscow is from one end to another, Vladivostok is the other end. Moscow is in, I think it's in Europe. I think it's Asia. Okay. The 35th fact is, in Bulgaria, a shake to the head from left to right means yes, and vice versa means no. I mean, a nod means no. A shake from left to right means no. This is no. This is yes. So, it's a vice versa as we do. The 36th fact. Transylvania in Romania has a rich folk history. So, stories of the vampire Dracula are based on Vlad the Impaler, a cruel prince who lived there in the 1400s. So, 37th one. Europe is the world's second smallest continent, as you know. Australia is the first, but it has more people living in it than North America, which is nearly 2.5 times bigger. That's pretty cool. 38. Most children living in Scandinavia, which is nothing but Norway, Finland, and Sweden combined. Most children living in Scandinavia, I think, Norway, Sweden, Denmark, and Finland, 4 countries. Most children living in Scandinavia are already good skiers by the time they are old enough to go to school. Yeah, I think it's 3. I think 3. Nope. Ooh, I lost count. Oh. 39th fact. The traditional drink in Morocco is mint tea, served with a lot of sugar and a sprig of mint. It's offered free of charge to customers before they begin to bargain for what they want to buy. That's a thing, which I absolutely don't know what. So going on to the 40th fact. Last 10 of them. On the island of Madagascar, a man must make a speech before he's married. If the speech is no good, he pays a fine and starts again. This is a good culture in Madagascar. Okay. 41st fact. Lake Malawi covers 1/4 of the country of Malawi. Fish from the lake provide food for people, which is the main source. Fish is the main source of people for food. The 42nd fact is La Paz, the capital of Bolivia, is the world's highest capital city in the world. It is 4,100 meters, or should I say 13,450 feet above sea level. So high up, the air is very thin and visitors often find it difficult to breathe. If you go there and you find easy to breathe after some time. Going on to the 43rd fact. Brazil covers half of South America, but 4 out of 5 Brazilians live within 200 kilometers, or should I say 125 miles, within the radius of the Atlantic coast. So going on to the 44th. Mexico City is Mexico City is the city in the world. More than 20,000 people live there and it's still growing. It's its largest here. I don't know why they said Tokyo before. but let's just ignore that. So the real 44th thing, that let's just have it as a bonus fact. At the very first Thanksgiving meal in 1621, the main dish was not turkey, but eels. Believe it or not, eels. Not electric eels, eels. So 45th, last 5. 4 out of every 5 Americans speak English. The second most spoken language is Spanish in the US. So, yep. The 46th fact. In winter, some people flood their back gardens with water so that it freezes to make a temporary ice rink for skating or ice hockey. Yep. 47th. Sheep farming is important in New Zealand. The country has about 50 million sheep. That's over 16 times more than the people. More sheep than people. That's cool. So, famous places. 48th fact. The Great Barrier Reef in Australia is the world's largest marine national park. At 207,000 square kilometers, or should I say 79,923 square miles. Oh, look at this 88 butterfly. Let me show you. This 88 butterfly. Can you look at it? It looks cool, right? That's the wonder of nature. So the 49th fact. The Aswan High Dam is 1,000 meters, or should I say 30,000 to 80 feet wide, and is built on sand and gravel. Its construction created the 160 kilometer, or should I say 100-mile long Lake Nassau. Ooh. The last fact today. Not here. The Old Faithful Geyser in Yellowstone National Park, US, is so named because it never fails to erupt every 65 minutes. This is the most awesome fact that I listened today. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Meet you there. So if you like this video, go down below and smash the like button, bring this video to 10,000 likes for another 50 facts about something. Check out my Facebook and Instagram pages by going to those links, and if you want to subscribe to my channel, click my logo there, and if you want a video from my channel, click there. And as always, before I leave, be the one.